Two popular tools for taking charge of your money. Personal Capital and Moneyspire go head-to-head. Which one truly stands out? On one side, Personal Capital, with its powerful financial dashboard. On the other, Moneyspire, a simple but flexible personal finance manager. We're stacking them up in all the ways that matter: features, ease of use, security, value for money, and more. Let's forget the marketing hype and focus on what actually matters. We'll score each category, and by the end, you'll know exactly which tool takes the crown. The winner? You might be surprised. Let's get into it. Okay, quick look at what we're going to compare. Price, account syncing, investment tracking, budgeting power, platform options, and, of course, how they handle privacy and security. I'll pop up a mind map here so you see all the categories we're about to dive into. Ready? Let's go. So, first up, price. Moneyspire keeps things super simple here. It's either a pretty low one-time payment or a modest annual fee, and you actually own the software, which honestly is kind of rare these days. But, and this is big no truly free tier, just a trial. Personal Capital, on the other hand, gives you tons of features for free, like the dashboard, basic budgeting, and net worth. But if you want their actual wealth management service, yeah, it costs a lot, and you'll need a decent chunk of change to get started. For most people just looking for tracking though, Personal Capital won't cost a penny. Winner for price? Gotta give it to Moneyspire for that straightforward, super afford, basic budgeting, and net worth. Alright, aggregation, so getting all your accounts synced and updated. Personal Capital is, well, kinda known for this. You hook up your banks, credit cards, even investments, and it keeps things humming along with real-time updates, which is awesome if you're always on the go. Sometimes you have to refresh connections, but honestly, it's pretty smooth. Moneyspire though, it's more old school. Manual entry is totally a thing, and while you can sync some stuff online, it feels a little clunky and not as seamless. So if automation is your love language, Personal Capital is the clear winner. Here, Personal Capital is the clear winner here. Now, investment tools. This is where things get pretty interesting. Personal Capital just goes all in. You get portfolio analysis, retirement planning, and even this slick fee analyzer, which can actually save you money if you spot high fee funds. Net worth tracking is practically the centerpiece here. The catch? Their budgeting categories aren't hyper detailed. Moneyspire, on the other hand, does have basic investment tracking. But if you want something like analyzing your 401k performance or running what-if retirement scenarios, that's just not happening. Personal Capital totally takes this round. Oh, and here's something cool. Did you know Personal Capital actually manages over $20 billion in client assets? Like, it's not just some random app, it's a big player out there. Moving on to budgeting. Now, here, Moneyspire really flexes. If you're someone who loves creating custom categories or wants envelope-style budgeting with reminders and bill tracking, you're gonna have a good time. The setup is a little work at first, not gonna lie, but once it's rolling, it's super powerful. Personal Capital tracks spending and lets you set monthly limits, but that's pretty much it. Nothing fancy, no envelopes. For anyone who really wants to micromanage their money, Moneyspire wins the budgeting battle. Let's talk platforms. Personal Capital is all about that web and mobile life, with solid apps for iOS and Android. But if you want a classic desktop experience, it's not really there. Moneyspire now, this is wild runs on pretty much everything. Windows, Mac, Linux, and yes, mobile too. The mobile app isn't quite as shiny, but if you bounce between devices or want desktop power, it's hard to beat. I'd call this one a tie, each nails it in its own way. And finally, privacy and security. So Personal Capital comes with bank-level encryption, two-factor authentication, and their servers are US-based. All very reassuring. But full transparency, if you sign up for their advisory service, they will use your data to upsell you. Moneyspire, on the other hand, runs fully local if you want. No cloud required, which is amazing if you're super privacy focused. If you do use their cloud option, it's not quite as slick, but it's totally optional. For people who really don't want their data floating around the internet, Moneyspire definitely has an appeal here. But security-wise, both seem solid overall, so I'm calling this a tie as well. So looking at the overall scores, each tool really has its strengths. You can see on the radar chart, Personal Capital dominates for investment and automation, while Moneyspire shines in pricing and hardcore budgeting. They're kind of made for different types of users. Honestly, here's how I'd sum it up. If you're focused on tracking your investments and net worth with as little manual work as possible, Personal Capital is tough to beat. It's slick, it's free, and the automation is just next level. But if you want super flexible budgeting, or you really care about privacy and keeping your data out of the cloud, Moneyspire is a solid bet. It's a little old school, but in a good way. For today, I'd say Moneyspire sneaks out the win, just because of that value and flexibility angle. Did this help you finally decide where to stash your financial life? If you found this comparison helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more honest fintech guides. I'll see you in the next one.